Hello, my name is Tawana Brown, and I serve as the Assistant Director in Parent and Family Programs. Thank you so much for tuning in to our webinar Wednesday. We are talking about safety on campus through this series, and today we have Paula and Christina from Student Conduct. And so Paula, I'll turn it a little over to you to share a little bit about yourself and about your office.
All right, thank you, Tawana. Thanks again for this opportunity to get our information out to parents. Most of the time, when parents get involved with our office, it's because a student is found, student has been alleged of some type of violation. Our office deals with non-academic misconduct. So that means violations of the law, violation of our code of student conduct, violation of policy. I have worked with the university for about 21 years. I have with me Christina, and I'll let her explain to you what she does for our office and how long she's been here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christina Wentworth. I am one of the investigators in the Office of Student Conduct. So I'm somebody who, if a student is referred to our office, they may have the opportunity to interact with that way. And I also help with our student judicial board, advising them, and you'll learn more about what that is later. But thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. So this is our office, how to reach out to our office. You can always call us. You can always email us. If you're having, questions or concerns about your students, please reach out to us. We always have an open door policy. We are here to help out if you have any questions or concerns. But let's start off with what our role is on campus. First, we hold students accountable for their choices, whether that is on or off campus. A lot of students think that if the violation does not occur on campus, that it is no concern of the university. Well, it is. Our job is to help students stay focused on their main goal, which is to simply, be successful. In our office, our education is key. If a student is summoned to our office for an alleged violation, our key is to educate students on how to make good choices and good decisions after this incident. We provide information, we provide referrals to that student to get that student back on track to where they need to be so they can be successful. We uphold the values listed in our, capstone creed and our code of student conduct. Our code of student conduct is what I pretty much call the law of the land around these parts. It lists our expectations of behavior. So if you happen to talk to your student today, please tell them to kind of read about our code of student conduct. Let them know what they have signed up to do. Our code of student conduct can be on our website. For that information, you yourself can visit our website to get kind of, an updated or education on those expectations of behavior. Our student judicial board, like Christina mentioned earlier, this is a great way for your student to get involved in our office. We have a student judicial board, and they help us with our low-level non-academic misconduct cases. The applications are open. Doesn't matter what their major is. We just want students who want to advocate for other students. Our student judicial board, they hear alcohol cases. They hear parking appeals. I don't know if your student has received a parking ticket or not, but they can always appeal that parking ticket if they feel that it was not valid, issue valid. But our student judicial board, they hear all the parking appeals. So it's just a great way for them to get involved. It's also a branch of SGA. Again, it doesn't matter what their major is. We've had dance majors, we've had theater majors. We just want students who want to advocate for other students. So please follow the link and tell them to sign up. The next thing I want to share with you is our standard of proof. In the Office of Student Conduct, this is how we prove responsibility or not. We do preponderance of evidence, meaning that if the information that we receive from the student and the citation, if 51% of that is proving that the student may have, had a violation of our code of student conduct, then we can find them responsible. Our office is not really a court, but we do kind of work hand in hand with the court system. Some students think that it may be double jeopardy, because some students do get a city citation as well as a conduct referral, but it's two separate things, and I will share with you a little bit more. To have a complaint issued in our office means that UAPD or maybe another student or faculty member has reported it, but UAPD is the main resource that we receive information from. Information in the form of a conduct referral. That conduct referral simply states that an alleged violation has occurred, and that student needs to talk to us about what happened. Once we get a copy of that conduct referral, we're going to issue it to a conduct investigator like Christina or myself or someone else in our office, or we're going to issue it to our student judicial board. We're going to send a summons letter out to students to let them know that an alleged violation has occurred, and we need to set up a meeting for them to discuss the case. This is super important because we want students to come in and share their side of the story. So it's their opportunity to share their side of the story and for us to listen. While we're in this meeting, that's what we do. It's all about educating students on how to make better choices and better decisions. And if the information warrants finding them responsible for a violation, then we put those educational factors in sanctions in place. The student is always going to receive a decision letter, and that student, once they receive that decision letter, they can appeal the sanctions if they don't feel that the sanctions are, warranted. Maybe they feel the sanctions are too extreme, but there is an appeal process for that. So to sum the conduct process up, we receive information that an alleged violation has occurred. We assign it, we summons them in so they can come in and share their side of the story. Then we come up with a game plan of action. This is our capstone creed. I always share this with all the students I meet with, because I say, if your student is living our capstone creed, then they will never have to be a case in our office. The choices that we see in our office, some of the poor choices that we see in our office are below. This is not all of the cases that we see, but these are some of the ones I wanted to kind of highlight. Minor in possession or alcohol violation is the violation that we most frequently see in our office, along with these other ones. I wanted to quickly just share with you some of our statistics. If you look here, during these 2 years, we've had, this was kind of during COVID, where it was really crazy with the COVID laws and violations. 1,818, 21 to 22, 981. This simply just kind of gives you a brief look of what our caseload is. Let's see here, of our cases, male, 65% are male, 30% are female. And as you see, freshman students are leading the way with the classification. I believe freshman students are our main demographic because they're just simply new to our campus. They're new to, probably making their own choices and decisions, and new to our campus rules and regulations. Again, this is just some other information that we have. Warnings is what we tend to mostly use. When we talk about warning, I always let students know our warning is simply what I call it like a slap on the wrist, right? We're going to put some measures in place and hope that you make better choices and better decisions in the future. With disciplinary probation. With disciplinary probation, that means you are you're walking a thin line, and we're going to put you on probation. And probation tends to be for a semester or academic year, depending on what the violation is. When we do suspension means that you have violated our code of student conduct, our policy, and you potentially need some separation from the university, maybe just to grow, right? Maybe just to take some time off. But then we have expulsions, which is 0. Expulsion is simply where you are expelled from the university, and the likelihood of you ever, being a student is very slim. All right. Another thing I want to share with you is our medical amnesty. Our medical amnesty policy is a policy on this campus to put safety first. We make students aware of this policy because we want students who find themselves in a situation where their partner or themselves need some medical attention. We don't want them to be afraid to get medical attention. Our medical amnesty policy is in place for safety first. If an individual is in need of medical attention, we want them to call for some medical assistance, and we want them to feel comfortable knowing that they won't have a disciplinary record, even if they have been, drinking, or their friend has been drinking and they're in need of medical attention. We don't want them to even think about, I don't want to call for medical assistance because I don't want my friend to get in trouble. I don't want myself to get in trouble. We just want them to think, okay, medical amnesty policy is going to help me get my friend some medical assistance, and I won't be in trouble. Our medical amnesty policy covers the individual who needs medical attention, individuals who call on behalf of those needing medical treatment, and organizations like fraternities and sororities. If they call on behalf of someone who needs medical attention, we won't hold the organization at fault. It will fall under medical amnesty. And our medical amnesty, our full medical amnesty policy is on our website. So this is a good thing for students to be made aware of. If they call for some medical assistance because someone needs some medical assistance, never be afraid that they're going to get into any trouble. Some of the need to know facts. Students, we handle students. Sometimes students are technically not students because maybe they have not attended their first class, but our code of student conduct applies to students who are formally admitted to the University of Alabama. I always say if you have a CWID, then pretty much you're a student here. But when our code of student conduct states that our code of student conduct applies to students, that's what that term means. It means anyone admitted to the University of Alabama and registered for or taking or pursuing undergraduate or graduate professional studies or courses at the University of Alabama, both full and part-time, as well as a person attending classes on campus or off campus. Person who are not officially enrolled for a particular term, but who have a continuing relationship with the university, as well as person participating in orientation, are considered students. So even, if your student is a part of orientation, they haven't even, taken classes yet, we still hold them accountable to our code of student conduct. So why does student conduct enforce university policies off campus? The main reason why we enforce off-campus policy violation as well as on-campus violation is because they're UA students, and they serve as a representation of our student, of our student population. When a student makes a good decision or a bad decision and it's posted anywhere, like in the CW or Tuscaloosa News or any publication, the first thing that's going to be stated is going to be University of Alabama student. So when the student has a violation that could impact the University of Alabama, or is a clear violation of the law or our code of student conduct, our job is to simply call them in or summons them in so we can have a conversation about, the representation of the University of Alabama and the things that the measures they can put in place. So will I be notified if my student is charged with violating the code of student conduct? Well, if your student is under the age of 21, and it is an alcohol or drug violation, we do what we call a parental notification. We will email you stating that your student was found responsible for an alcohol or drug violation. What is super key is that we have a FERPA release on file in order to discuss your student's case. So if you have the time, you can talk to your student and say, hey, do I have a FERPA release, to have rights to your grades or your conduct records? If they say no, please get that FERPA release, because even though, they're, technically, almost grown, we can't share any information with you unless a FERPA release is in place. So please do that. So does the outcome of a conduct process go on my student's official transcript? Well, the thing about that, if a student is found responsible for a violation, it does not go on their transcript. However, we do keep a record of it for 7 years on their disciplinary record. 7 years, yes, is a long time. With that 7 years, what the different entities and different offices that want to know about a student's disciplinary record is, one, if they plan on working for the federal government, if they plan on maybe going to graduate school or law school, or maybe even, let's see here, study abroad. Those are the entities that want to know about a student's disciplinary record. So it is super key that students make good choices and good decisions, because if a violation occurs and they are found responsible, it does stay a part of their disciplinary record and could somewhat hinder some of their opportunities for being successful. Can someone like a family member or lawyer attend the meeting with my student? Yes, your student has the right to have a lawyer. They have the right to have a parent present. It just cannot be like a potential witness. But if your student feels more comfortable with having someone present with them in our conduct meeting, we welcome them. The thing about it is, parents, you can always come in and sit with your student. However, if your student states that they do not want you present, then we have to abide with what the student is asking us to do. But yes, we welcome you to be involved with this process. So can my student appeal a sanction decision? Your student has, yes, once their student receives a discipline letter stating that you have been found responsible for a violation, we issue educational sanctions. And if a student is not, those sanctions that we are requesting them to do, if they feel that they're not warranted or they think that it is too much, then they can always appeal that sanction. In their sanction letter that they receive from our office, it's going to be a link for them to appeal that decision. The sanctions are generally reviewed by our dean of students or our executive director. These are some campus resources that we work, who we work with on campus. Our counseling center, our collegiate recovery intervention services program. Our collegiate recovery intervention services program here at the University of Alabama is a great resource. If your student is having, some issues with some type of substance abuse, we have our very own substance abuse and intervention program here at the University of Alabama. So please contact them. And we have our student health center. So these are just some campus resources that are available for you if you need them. Again, our office is located in 173 Burke Hall East. You can always visit our website to get more, Q&A about questions that maybe I didn't touch on. But we are always welcoming for parents to ask us questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Paula, for this information. Again, parents, thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you'll tune into the rest of our webinars on safety. Again, a huge round of applause to Paula and Christina for sharing information on their office. And again, Roll Tide, and thank you for attending.